Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generation discussion. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about the major elephant in the room. Now that Boruto's manga has not only sealed away Naruto, but allowed Momoshiki to hijack Boruto's consciousness and allowed Momoshiki to waste no time in raising all types of chaos now that he's in control of Boruto's body. While everyone was breathing easy thinking that Kawaki had finally been captured, Momoshiki wasted no time in taking advantage of their loosening composure to rescue Kawaki and tell him to take off running, saying that he's surrounded by enemies and he needs to go. Once this was revealed, I saw a lot of comments by people saying this made absolutely no sense. Other people said this was a plot hole, and like I said in the spoiler video yesterday, I will begin addressing why not only is this not a plot hole, but it also makes a ton of sense story-wise for Momoshiki have done exactly what he did, and I also want to explain the ramifications of what this will be moving forward into the Boruto story. In short, it all comes down to chakra fruits. Right now, we only have two people we know for certain who want to get their hands on a chakra fruit. The first is Code, who wants to consume chakra fruits to become a god of the Otsutsuki and obtain the power needed to carry out Ishiki Otsutsuki's will. The second is Momoshiki, who has stubbornly managed to cling to his existence every step of the way, even going so far as to cheat death by reviving Boruto from the dead. Now you might be asking, why is it that Momoshiki would think to free Kawaki if his goal is to harvest a chakra fruit? Isn't that kind of pointless right now? After all, Momoshiki said himself that he can't resurrect using Boruto's body anymore, because when he brought Boruto back to life, he did so knowing that he would be unable to come back to life due to giving Boruto the remaining data he needed so Boruto's heart and organs could be rebuilt. However, from what I've seen with a lot of people, they've forgotten one major detail, which is that Momoshiki might have lost the ability to resurrect himself, but he can still hijack Boruto's body, which is what Amado told us in the past once he was examining Boruto after Kawaki killed him, and it's also something that Momoshiki literally told us a few chapters ago was going to be the case. That brings us to why Momoshiki would want Kawaki and he would want the chakra fruit. Well, to be blunt, Momoshiki has already basically pulled a Sukuna, which those of you guys who are up to date on Jujutsu Kaisen, you know exactly why I'm making this comparison. But Momoshiki thought long term when he made the decision to revive Boruto. Momoshiki was always aiming to get his hands on the chakra fruit by any means necessary. Losing the opportunity to resurrect himself using Boruto's body was merely one failed route, but it wasn't the only route that he had to go towards a chakra fruit. It was just the most ideal path because that's the way that those Sasuke have done things. By saving Boruto's life, Momoshiki made Boruto into 100% Otsutsuki, and he stressed that his soul would continue to be attached to Boruto's body and that Boruto is still his vessel. A body that is 100% Otsutsuki is able to consume the chakra fruit without any type of difficulties. As Orochimaru said in the anime, it's not something that humans can handle. While Ishiki told Code to consume the chakra fruit, we don't know if Code having a karma seal plays a role in him being able to eat the chakra fruit, or whether or not it's something that Ishiki told him to eat the chakra fruit for some unknown devious reason, which is certainly possible either way. However, this is why Momoshiki saving Kawaki is so important. His plans are to get the chakra fruit, and those plans have not ended. He merely has been forced to go about them in a different route. In fact, he's actually got a great plan when you think about it. His plan was to drive Boruto into despair so great that it pushed Boruto in a corner of his own mind. It gives Momoshiki total control over Boruto while Boruto's fully checked out. Momoshiki said he would live out the rest of Boruto's days as Boruto for a reason, because he planned to be in control of Boruto's body, a body that is now compatible with eating a chakra fruit. The fact that Momoshiki thought this far in advance, it puts him in a much bigger threat level right now, and it's so fitting that he pulled such a long-term move for a few different reasons. Number one, it's something that is the most Naruto thing ever in a series of people say has absolutely no connection to anything from the themes of Naruto, which is absolutely crazy. It's as crazy as that idea that people don't use hand signs in Boruto anymore, which goes back to the whole thing of people only pay attention when Naruto and Sasuke are fighting if they're saying that nonsense. The way that this fits in with one of the narratives from the Naruto franchise is that a ninja must see through deception. Boruto was brought back to life, and on the surface level, it made Boruto and the readers think that Momoshiki merely did so because he wanted to stay alive, but there was a hidden motive to it. It was still to acquire the chakra fruit and consume it after he takes control of Boruto's body. The other thing this did is that it now shows us that Momoshiki is a threat that is always lingering, and he's always up updating his stances. He's always updating the ninjutsu arsenal that Boruto has. Whatever jutsu Boruto learns, Momoshiki now knows, and Momoshiki is able to build onto it. Hence, the Rasengan is a compression Rasengan shot off like a bullet. We knew that Momoshiki would be a threat to take over Boruto's body, but he now has shown that he's constantly planning and scheming from within Boruto's entire body this entire time, waiting for the right moment to strike. He gave Boruto a false sense of security, making him think he could only take control of Boruto once Boruto felt despair so great from losing everything, but Momoshiki was able to take control much sooner than expected and is now able to raise chaos. Again, seeing through the deception. Momoshiki acting this way also serves the benefit of allowing Kawaki to get further justification for what he's doing with his goal to hunt down and destroy all the Otsutsuki, because Momoshiki doing what he's doing right now is proof to anyone who might challenge Kawaki later on. It's proof for Kawaki that their love for Boruto is blinding them to the truth, which is that Momoshiki, as long as he's inside of Boruto, is still a threat that they have to be wary of, and the only way to get rid of that threat is to kill Boruto. It gives Kawaki another reason to go after Momoshiki, but it also gives Boruto incentive to find a way to suppress Momoshiki now that this is likely going to be known to everyone. Kawaki's also smart enough to see why Momoshiki released him, and he's gonna know it's because Momoshiki wants to feed him to the Ten Tails, because Kawaki is the only other person besides Boruto with Otsutsuki genetics that can be used to harvest a chakra fruit. It's also something that Sasuke is gonna come to the conclusion on, because Sasuke knows from his observation that things are not what they seem to be with Boruto, because it made no sense for him to allow Kawaki to escape when Kawaki had previously tried to kill Boruto. Sasuke is going to realize that Momoshiki is in control and that he's after the chakra fruit, which gives Sasuke another reason to try and stop him. The idea of Momoshiki going on an extended test run inside of Boruto's body brings in a bunch of conflict, especially if Momoshiki steps in when Konoha is trying to corner Kawaki again, and Momoshiki acts in the way to free Kawaki by allowing him to escape from the Lane of Fire. Whenever Boruto gets back in control of his body, it's going to lead to more conflict, because with Naruto being sealed away, there isn't going to be a Kage who looks at Boruto and doesn't view him as a security risk. As we all remember, when Naruto was presented with the reality that Boruto was a threat due to Momoshiki's pending resurrection, the Kages made it clear. Killing Boruto was something that needed to be considered. It was the ideal situation in some of their eyes, which left Naruto in the manga saying he'd do what needs to be done as Hokage, but in the anime, it was revealed that Naruto as a father was at odds with Naruto as a Hokage, with the father side eventually winning out in the end, refusing to kill Boruto and vowing to find another way. Right now, there is no Naruto there to act as a buffer between Boruto and the other Kages, who up until this point only had to defer to Naruto, because with or without Kurama, he's still stronger than the other Kage combined. Naruto right now is gone. If Momoshiki allows Kawaki to leave the village, potentially with Ada and Damon there, the Kages are going to be looking at Boruto, even though Boruto was not in control, because the threat of Momoshiki taking back control and acting in a way that goes against their best self-interest is always there. Momoshiki right now has the chance to make Boruto's life an absolute living nightmare, even without having to lift a finger. Whatever damage he does while in control of Boruto's body right now is just extra icing on the cake. If Momoshiki goes on a mini rampage and starts destroying chunks of the village or starts taking out key shinobi, it's going to be harder to justify doing nothing to Boruto, and there might even be some Kage who take the stance that Kawaki was wrong in sealing away Naruto, but he's not wrong to want to finish Boruto off, because he's a security risk that can't be overlooked anymore. It's going to lead to some very uncomfortable questions surrounding Boruto, a character who is extremely sensitive to the fact that he's at the center of a lot of things. Just look at the trauma that came from Boruto knowing that he destroyed Sasuke's Rinnegan. It kept him up all night for days on end, because he knew the next thing that might happen is Momoshiki might actually kill someone he cares about. Momoshiki has a chance right now to be a great agent of chaos of the story, and Boruto's development as we head into the time skip is gonna take another leap forward. The only question left now is how far does Momoshiki go now that he's in control of Boruto, and how long will Momoshiki maintain control of Boruto? Could we see Boruto leaving Konoha until he finds a way to properly control Momoshiki and not have him hijack his consciousness? Maybe even prevent Kawaki from having a reason to come to Konoha. It's certainly possible right now. I wasn't a fan of the Boruto and isolation theory that people have been saying for years now, but this chapter definitely opens up the door for there to be some real fallout from this that can change the story in a major way going forward. I hope now that Momoshiki is in control, we really see him cut loose, because Momoshiki's development after being defeated makes him feel like more of a villain now than he ever did in the past. We now have an active reason to both fear Momoshiki and root against Momoshiki. He might end up being the person who fills that void in the story that now exists now that Naruto's gone, because Momoshiki and that specter of Momoshiki is enough to stir up so much conflict that you stay invested in the story even though Naruto's been removed from it. That being said, I'm so curious to know you guys' thoughts on this. How far do you think Momoshiki could go while in control of Boruto's body, and can Momoshiki's plan to feed Kawaki to the Ten Tails actually work? While you think that over, click here to watch my Black Clover chapter 351 review, or click here to watch this Naruto Explained video.